What's up, my future home selling clients? That's you. I'm Rex with Impact Real Estate Group, and today I want to talk to you about maximizing the value and emotional appeal of your house to the potential buyers. If that's something you want to learn more about, stick around. So maximizing the value and emotional appeal of your house. There's the regular stuff that everybody knows about, like clean up everything and brighten the house. I tell people to change the light bulbs and put in higher wattage light bulbs during the home selling time. Bake cookies, use plug-in air fresheners like a vanilla scent or something, possibly home staging. These are sort of the same tips anybody can give you. I'm gonna go a little deeper into a couple of tips you may not have thought about. First of all those other tips can be found in my Ultimate Home Seller's Guide, the book that I created. And it's got all those sort of regular tips and a lot of these secret tips in it too. We only give these to our home seller clients if they request it. So you gotta list your house with us and then ask me for the book, because we don't just give it out to everybody. It's got top secret information in it. Okay. So let's talk about maximizing the value and emotional appeal of your house and the items you may not have thought about. Number one, I'll say know your moment of highest negotiating position and how to maximize it. This is something almost no real estate agent that I've ever met understands, but it's super important to know when your moment as a home seller is at the absolute maximum. I'm gonna have to meet with you to tell you that, because it's a secret I just don't reveal on video, because then every realtor will suddenly understand it. Then I'll be competing against myself. So that's super important. Number one, know when your moment of highest negotiating position is as a home seller, so you can maximize the potential of that. And really, I mean, that could literally add tens of thousands of dollars all by itself with no other tip. If you know when that is and you know how to maximize it, like knowing how to maximize it is just knowing it's not enough. You got to understand how to maximize it, and we definitely do, because I created that whole concept. Number two, I'm going to say, is compress the buying market into a small time frame. It's always better if there's buyers bumping into each other and they see other buyers. And you know, if you have an open house in traditional manner, it's like a couple people show up here and there. It's just not that busy and there's not much going on. But the way we do it, with our massive marketing that goes out, and then we compress the market, we make all the buyers show up at the same time. Basically within a few days, they're all coming into our open houses, and they have to make all their offers at the same time. So when they show up, there's a lot of activity, a lot of other buyers. They see the house looks perfect. It looks as perfect as a house can look. Every house is different, right? Some you can only do so much, right? But as perfect as we can make it, and they're all gonna have that same high quality viewing experience of the property. And then they see all the other buyers and they get excited and they know it's gonna be a hot home and they're gonna have to bring in their highest and best offer. There's a bonus tip, but I don't wanna give it here on video, because then I'll reveal one of my big secrets on how I increase the value of the house and bump up the price and all this kind of stuff. But when you meet with me, please ask me about the other tip, and it has to do with me being a very positive person. I'm always positive. So if you ask me that question, what am I always positive about when I'm selling a home? I will give you that bonus tip and you'll understand. So tip number three would be to have the buyers compete against each other. So you don't want to accept the first offer you get on your property immediately. Like, I know I've actually, when I was working with home buyers, I would try to get that home locked down quickly before all the other buyers could see it. So I would try and do whatever I could to get them to accept my offer or counter offer, or give us a counter offer as quickly as possible. Because I want, as a home buyer agent, I want to get that property off the market. Now, as a home seller's agent, I do not want to get that property off the market and super fast. I want to give the entire home buying community a chance to come in, take a look at the property, make an offer on the property so we can take a look at that compared to other buyers. And I want those buyers to begin competing against each other to see who's going to pay the most and be the best buyer to work with and give you the best terms and all this kind of stuff. Because when buyers compete, you win, right? And we want to win. I mean, everyone's a winner when we work together, because the real estate community is a cooperative environment, and we're always doing the best we can to help our sellers and buyers achieve their goals. So we're always working together, but we definitely want to have them compete against each other to achieve their best possible pricing scenario that they may not have even considered until they start seeing competition, right? So we want to encourage that. Tip number, 4 or 5, don't tell anybody you're selling your house until the day it goes on the market. I mean, here's why. When you start telling people, hey, I'm gonna be selling my house, everybody's got a friend or somebody who's looking for a house, and they're gonna start telling their friends, oh, my friend Bob is going to be selling his house. And then you're going to have calls from your friends saying, hey, my buddy wants to come over and see your house before you put it on the market because he'd like to save you some money and help you get sold quickly, right? That's never the case. First of all, that buyer is not a real buyer. He probably hasn't seen a million homes like a real buyer needs to. He probably hasn't made any offers on homes yet like a real buyer needs to. He probably doesn't have a realtor he's working with like every real buyer has, because by that time, they've got a realtor they've been working with for showing them 30 or 40 homes and making offers with them. That guy who's coming over is not looking to come over and give you the highest and best price and the best terms on your property. That guy who's coming over is hoping to sneak in underneath everybody else and get the property off the market at a lower price and probably worse terms for you. And usually the offers that come in are always crazy, very creative, you know? So, I mean, you want to look at all the buyers, right? So the only way to do that is by letting all the buyers come in and seeing the property in its absolute best possible light, which means it's already been prepared for sale. The marketing plan is out. All the professional photos are done. It's everywhere online. It's got flyers in the box, a sign and thing, open houses. They can come to the first open house. Tell them, you know, if somebody finds out you're going to be selling, tell them, house isn't ready to show yet, but as soon as we're ready to have an open house, I'll tell you, and you guys can be the first ones into the open house, right? Because you want them to see the house in its best light. You want them to see it with other buyers, which is part of the best light is other buyers competing against them, because you want them to have that opportunity to compete so you can see all the offers, compare them all, and counter offer the best ones and find the best buyer for your house. Because anything less than that, it's gonna lead right down the wrong road. First of all, you're gonna lose money. Second of all, it's probably gonna fall out of escrow. Third of all, that buyer's gonna be a pain. You want to find the best buyer, and they need to know they're lucky to get that house, and they got to be thrilled for the opportunity to pay absolute maximum market value for it. So I get a little fired up. Okay, next tip. Next tip sort of goes along with the last one. It's basically don't let anybody see your house until it's ready, right? Because people say, oh, I want to come over and just see your house before you sell it or whatever, and they, you know, well, it's not ready. Oh, it's okay, I understand. I'll just look at it real quick and I'll get it. Like, they don't get it. They absolutely do not get it, because your house has to be done, ready, prepared for that. Marketing has to go out. It's got to be the first day is the day, and that's the only day anybody gets to see the house. Anybody wants to sell it, tell them, call my realtor and he'll tell you when the first open house is, or he'll arrange a showing, and I'll just say, well, it's not ready yet, so we can't show it until it's absolutely ready. Or you just tell everybody we're not ready yet. So don't show that house until it's ready, which means it's on the market, right? And all the buyers have it. You know what? And this is going to lead to one of my pet peeves, as long as I'm on my rant. Here's something I do not understand in the real estate community, and maybe some realtor can contact me and tell me what the benefit is. But I see sometimes a home comes on the market and it's got a coming soon sign on it, like it's the realtor sign and it's got a coming soon on it. Now, I guess if it's really coming soon and they're not showing it to anybody and they're sort of trying to get people excited about the idea that it's coming soon, but they're still not going to show it until it's on the market, everybody gets to see it. I don't understand what the benefit is. Like, I asked some realtor, I said, what's the benefit of that? You know, he said, well, because then I get a double-ended. I get to handle both sides, the buyer and the seller. And I'm like, well, what's the benefit for your seller? And he went, I don't think there is one. So anyhow, don't ever have a coming soon sign on your property unless you're not going to show it until the house is on the market and available to everybody at the same exact time. Just my pet peeve. Along the lines of my pet peeves, just here's another sort of additional side pet peeve. Realtors will say, oh, I always sell my own homes. I sell, you know, I have the homes that I'm listing for sale, and then I also have the buyer that I find because I bring my own buyer in. That is a huge red flag to me, I'll tell you that, because I almost never sell my homes to our own buyers, because I might have one or two or three buyers for a property, maybe, but there's hundreds of real estate agents in the community that all may have one or two or three buyers that are probably way better buyers and way better qualified than some of my buyers. I mean, you need all those buyers to see the property, and the chances of a realtor selling their own properties to their own buyers, that tells me that they're probably not doing the best job for their sellers. They're doing what's best for them, but they're not doing what's best for the seller. All the buyers need to see the property. They all need to have a chance to make an offer and compete against each other to give you the best price for your house. Always. Next tip, I don't know where we're at, 6, 8, whatever, 7. Professional photography is a must. Like, you can't, there's so many homes, I see them online on the MLS and on wherever, if I'm looking on some other system, And it's like some realtor goes in and takes pictures with their cell phone and then posts them online and then posts all the pictures. That is like, are you kidding me? You've got to be really picky. When I first started in real estate, there were no pictures. You would just have to read the descriptions and that kind of stuff. So now photos are the primary selling tool you have when you're marketing a property to make sure that everybody wants to come in and see that property. And the goal of photos is not to give the buyer all the information they need to determine whether or not they want to come over and see the house. The goal of the photographs is to get the buyer to come to the house, because a home seeing experience on a photograph online is 1,000% different than a home viewing experience in person, walking through the home and getting the full environment and driving up to the property and getting that front door opening experience and walking through the backyard or whatever. Like, it's completely different. The only benefit of showing a photograph is that it gives somebody a reason to come to your house. So when I'm looking at my professional, and this is a tip for agents too, like, here, help us out, man. We all need to be doing the right thing online when we're promoting for our sellers, right? Hold on. Here's my camera. So I'm also a professional photographer in addition to being a real estate professional. This is a Canon 5D Mark IV. It's their most recent Canon 5D. It's got a 16-35 wide angle lens on it. It looks amazing. When you put it in a room, it makes the whole room big and wide. It's kind of a little bit of a wide angle lens. It's awesome. Like, and then I do multiple, I don't always do the photos. I have other professional photographers. I just know what I'm looking for when I'm hiring a photographer. So we also do multiple exposures, right? So in order to do a professional photo job, you need to put it on a tripod and then you do multiple exposures so that when you combine all those, 5 or 6 photos, to make one perfect moment in time so you can see everything. It all looks rich and the colors look great and you can see through the windows into the beautiful backyard or over the industrial wasteland if that's where you live or whatever. I don't know, but hopefully it's something nice on the other side. Otherwise we'll just close the blinds. Anyhow, so that's professional photography is a must. You have to. That is your primary selling tool. And don't use all the photographs. Like, I'm gonna pick and choose. If I've got a house that's got it looks great everywhere except for the kitchen, like it's really dated and this kind of stuff, I may not show a picture of the kitchen, right? Because if it gives people reasons not to go see the property, I'm probably not going to put it in my promotion. People will just assume that it's got a nice kitchen, or when they get there, they might find out that the kitchen is the perfect space, it's in the perfect location, better than any other home they've seen, but it needs updating and remodeling, and they're excited about that because they want to remodel it themselves so they can have the kitchen of their dreams. They know it's not going to cost that much compared to, like, I don't know, living with a crappy kitchen that you hate, right? Or missing the perfect home, right, for your family. So I want them to come over and see that home. I want to give them lots of reasons to come and see it, so I'm going to be really picky about my photos. The other one is professional videos, right? Like, I'm a videographer too. See, hi, I'm on video right now. And it's important to have, if it makes sense, not every home makes sense for a professional video. Honestly, not every home does. But most every home that's a normal home, videos are really important. These days, the world's gone to video. We do it too. So a professional video that makes the home look really cool or whatever is, I love it. I love shooting them. They're super fun. So I would suggest hiring a professional videographer to come over or have your realtor hire a professional videographer to do a beautiful professional video. And I don't mean one just slides of photos. Those are kind of boring. We've seen those a million times. Something impactful that makes people excited about seeing the house, right? Professional video, it's key. So this next tip is huge, as are all my tips, but this next one is understanding the buyers and how buyers search for homes, okay? Like, it's way different than it used to be. When I started in real estate, they asked me, and I would give them all the printouts of the homes. We'd look through them and pick the ones we wanted to go to. Now buyers are in charge of their own home shopping experience. They do it online, right? So they enter in search database criteria. They go online and they look up some site and they enter in their criteria. So it asks, what size house do you want to live in? And it says 2,000 square feet or more. So if your house is 1,999 square feet, you are invisible to that buyer. How many bedrooms do you want? 4 bedrooms or more. If you have a 3-bedroom house and they've entered a 4-bedroom house or more, your house is invisible to them. You don't want to be invisible. How big is the lot? 6,000 square feet or more. And if you're 5,999, you're invisible to that buyer. Understanding this search database criteria and how home buyers are searching is super key when you start getting into like the minutia, right? So if I've got a home and it's 1,998 square feet, and my seller doesn't know for sure that it's 1,998 square feet. They go, well, it could be 2,000, I don't know, and they haven't measured it, and I'm not gonna measure it, and nobody's measured it. So, you know, there's so many times there's stuff in public records is all mixed up and it's wrong and all that kind of stuff. So if I have a buyer looking for a 2,000 square foot home or bigger, they probably would want to see this home. Then I might list the property as a 2,000 square foot home and put in the description, public record shows 1,999 square feet, buyer to verify actual square footage. And that bumps your house up into that next batch of buyers that are looking for 2,000 square feet or bigger. So I'm looking at all those search data criteria points and seeing if it makes sense to bump one up or change something, if, you know, but you always disclose it if it's on the border. Any gray area. Now, if my seller absolutely says, no, my house is 1,999 square feet, I measured it, I know it, I guarantee that's it, that's what I'm putting in there, right? I'm not gonna do anything illegal or anything unethical or lie about anything. I'm just gonna check those gray areas, and if it makes sense, I'm gonna bump it up and I'm gonna disclose it because it adds more people to your viewing experience. My second to last tip probably for this video is hire a realtor. Right? What's a realtor? What's a realtor? What's a real estate agent? What's a real estate broker? It can all be found in the Ultimate Home Seller Guide. But that's something else. A realtor is somebody who pays for, or it's a real estate agent, who pays for access to the multiple listing service, which is the massive database that we all use and as professionals, right? So you have to have access to the multiple listing service, which is the primary database that everybody uses, and it's all the, like 99% of all homes are sold through the multiple listing service. And then that information goes out into other places like Zillow and Trulia and HomeGain and all this other stuff. And then they add a bunch of junk to it, or they pick what you can see and what you can't see and how you search for it. But the databases of the multiple listing service is the primary tool, and it's way better than anything else out there. But you have to pay for it as a realtor. So you have to have a realtor who's got that designation. They're paying for access. They pay for access to all the homes. Anyone who's a real estate agent but not a realtor, that means they don't have access to all the homes, and they don't have access to the multiple listing service. So you don't want that. Okay, I'm going to add two more tips. So that was my second to last. So I'm going to add one more tip. Have your realtor go through your house with you as early as possible. I mean, don't do a thing to your house until you meet with your realtor, and then have them walk through the house. A realtor, a professional realtor who's been out there, they understand what the home buying market is looking for. They understand the market that you're in, right? And they understand buyers and buyer psychology and all this kind of stuff. So they don't take any classes for that kind of stuff, I don't think, but still they understand it because they're out there as professional realtors. They see a lot of homes, like a lot of homes. So have them walk through your house with you, and they'll give you their list of items they feel you should focus on, and then even more importantly, the areas you should stay away from. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff that sellers do sometimes, home sellers, right? You, that do sometimes that doesn't add a dime to what they're gonna make or make a house sell any faster. And you wanna focus on those areas that are gonna add value, emotional appeal, that are gonna make buyers excited, that are gonna give them that extra feeling about your house that makes them want to pay more for it, right? And they're gonna pay big time. That's the plan, right? Have them go through as early as possible and start focusing on the right things and get their list. And don't do a thing until you meet with your realtor. It should be us. But if it's not, meet with them as early as possible and get their list and their ideas on what should be done to maximize the value of your house. My last tip, and it's probably the most important one as far as I'm concerned, is get on our free neighborhood report program. I don't know if you're on it. If you're not on it, you should be on it because it's free. And basically what this is, we set up in the actual multiple listing service a search criteria for all the properties, you know, your area, your neighborhood, your geographic area, whatever makes sense for the home, your home, and then all the homes that are kind of similar to it, because we want you to be aware of the market. There's a lot of homes that go on the market sometimes without signs, or they go on so fast and you don't see them and you don't know about them. But I think it's really important for a home seller or a potential home seller to be aware of the market, the local market around them. So this system will automatically email you every time any real estate activity happens in your area. You'll get an email, and just click on the link and it'll open up that house and all the other homes that are, you know, on that list or whatever ones that have come up. Every time it goes on the market for sale, or every time it goes into escrow, you'll know it. Every time it gets sold, you'll know it. And it gets complete information. It's from the multiple listing service. So you got photographs, You've got descriptions. There's video links if they have one. There's size of the house, size of the lot, you know, square footage of everything. So it's a super maps, satellite views, everything is right there in the multiple listing service, and you have complete access to that. And it comes directly to your home computer or your phone, right? So it comes to both of them. So you just click on the link and you look at it and you know everything that's going on. You'll never have to pull another flyer from a box again in front of a house for sale. You'll never have to call another realtor except us again, because now all that information comes directly to you, and you got the prices. You know exactly what that home listed for. You'll know before most of the real estate community knows what's going on, because you really care about this area. It's your area, right? So you'll know about that house and you'll know everything about it. And when it sells, you're gonna know exactly what that price was listed at and what it sold for. What that house was listed at and what it sold for. So all you need to do is just email us with your email address and the home that you're planning on selling in the future. And then we'll look at that area and we'll set it up and we'll send you the link, and then boom, you're there. You've got the portal is what it's called. So it's your link, and then every time a new property, something happens in your area, you'll get another click right away. So you'll be knowing about it the day it happens. There you go. Those are my tips for increasing emotional appeal and value of your home, and a couple of bonus tips and a few pet peeve tips and other stuff. So I don't even know what I said. Anyhow, so don't get me ranting, because I just keep going. Well, that's it for this episode of me yelling at you in a camera. I will see our sign on your lawn. And I lost my light just as I finished.